It's a very, very natural thing to just, if you just look at nature. Yeah, you look at us human beings, how we have evolved in this world and how we function in this world, what drives us in this world, which is very different from the stuff that life is made of. When we talk about nature, the power of nature, and to be natural in our thinking and our way of being, which is very different from how we were programmed to function in this world. And so it's really important to look at that, to become aware of that. In order to become aware of something that we have lost sight of, that we have become unaware of, because we have forgotten about our true nature and our true thoughts, our real purpose, like what are we here to do, the meaning of life. We've completely lost sight of that, just as much as we have lost sight of what is God, because we got so caught up in this struggle over my God versus your God, because I'm attached to this belief system, which is actually handed down to me from generation to generation to generation. And all these generations, whatever period of history, we all work in the system that we are part of. And the system conditions us to put on these blindfolds, so to speak, and not to see clearly anymore. So we become very distracted, deluded into believing that, my truth is a matter of defending against that. And especially if it's opposing your truth, or your truth is opposing my truth, or your God is opposing my God. I many times use it as a reason to fight. And there are many, many people, many fundamentalists, religious fundamentalist people who die in the name of God or Allah or whatever they call that. Or die for beliefs or fight for beliefs. Like we fight for freedom and we fight for justice or the injustice. And I feel that all of that fighting needs to stop, and it can stop. It's all the war in this world. And of course we cannot end the war outside of us, but things begin to change when we in our own lives begin to make peace between ourselves and others. And we learn to not let things upset us anymore. And when we learn to give up our need to let go of, to change things outside of us, instead of focusing on ourselves and learning for ourselves and learning from experience. And we just open ourselves up to learning, open ourselves up to one another. And through this then really open ourselves up to ourselves, so to speak, to the wisdom that lies within, in order then to then really become oneself, to be real. And not only in my own subjective reality, but to be able to be real with one another, where I can really communicate and connect with other people. And there you can really say, I love that saying. Somebody actually said that, mentioned that in the chat room I am in, paltalk.com, a room for conscious revolution, which I hope you check out sometime. But anyway, that person said, isn't it great to be oneself? Which means that, it's, oneself, myself is not only myself, oneself, but oneself is like, that's the self we all share. We all are from that, That self actually, that essence is God, is one. And that is nature. And I think we really need to get back to that and go beyond the superficial differences and the arguments that we have in our own personal lives and the wars there. And then, of course, then also ending the war in this world. But it begins on a personal level. And it's about that which we realize, we actualize, and we are what we know. So I hope you can take a look at that. You can think about that. You can take my website, realize2actualize.com, which I'm actually going to make some major changes to very, very soon, if I haven't done it by now. Because that's really the essence of everything, is change. But then also, if you understand that you know that, and we all know that, I guess, that the essence is change, it's really interesting to note. It's interesting to see that actually we human beings, as we have become a certain way, we've developed our own personality and we are the way we are. We stop changing. We don't like change. Well, it's really the fear of the unusual, of the fear of that which is new. of changing, because we have found security in who we are and how we are. But it's also an illusion, because it only keeps us within ourselves, and there's really no growth possible, no real growth, no real learning. It only starts when we begin to go beyond the self and go beyond my reality and my impressions, and instead I open myself up to other people and really learn from them and really get to know them, through which I really then can get to know myself.